නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Dear Dhamma friends and devotees, first of all, I would like to wish and bless everyone to be well and happy. Today, I would like to address you with lots of compassion. If I ask you a question, what you are looking for, you may say, we are looking for happiness. What kind of happiness you are looking for? You would say, especially we are looking for mental happiness. Regardless of gender, color, religion, culture, whatever, people got by their birth, they are looking for mental happiness. Therefore, we have to realize what real happiness is. People are going through lots of hard work to find this kind of happiness. Some are finding happiness with worldly subjects. At the same time, some people, just we have to say, small portion of population are asking what happiness is with spiritual past. Therefore, I would like to today talk about how to find real happiness through a spiritual past. The Buddha, who was the greatest human being, existed on this earth forever. When we recite Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi, we have to promise ourselves to follow the Buddha's path. That means we have to be kind and wise. Just we have to pay our background with compassion and wisdom. That means being a kind and wise person, we have to put into work what kind of work we are supposed to follow, our life journey. As a monk, I have promised myself to get rid of this sansaric journey by practicing the Buddha's path. So that's why I practice renunciation. I gave up my layman life with understanding and then to practice myself to get rid of this, the circle of death and birth. When I talk about yourself, of course, you are lay people, as we call you. As lay people, that means you are finding worldly happy life by following studies, higher studies, and duties, also making money. That means you think by finding this path, you are supposed to make yourself happy. Of course you are. But only thing is, it's not the real happiness. For example, when you study, of course you are focusing on your lessons, your theories, and your practices. And then too, you have to be qualified human to this world. After you got qualifications, in some areas, as you are guided by experienced people, and then you are going to continue your life. When you continue your life, you may find a job and they make money. Also, you may get married, have kids, so on. At the same time, you have to learn how to do your duties towards your family at the same time for others. That means kind of happiness, what you got through your qualifications and studies. But everything is impermanent. Nothing is permanent. Whatever we got through our experience, that means your studies and your jobs and your money and your family members and your friends and everything. But still, nothing is permanent. Anytime we may leave this world, keeping everything behind. Sometimes we have to go through sicknesses. Of course, we are supposed to get old and sicknesses. Finally, we have to meet with final destination of death. This is what the Buddha explained clearly in his first sermon of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. I think you may remember. Jatipi dukkha, jarapi dukkha, vyadipi dukkho, marnampi dukkham, so on. Birth is suffering. Old age is suffering. Sickness is suffering. Death is suffering. Associating with unfriendly people is suffering. Departing from loved one is suffering. Not getting what we want is suffering. In brief, all 5 aggregates are suffering. That means this whole life is suffering. When we pronounce suffering or dukkha, sometimes you may have kind of dark feelings of your mind. Sometimes you may feel we don't have kind of very attractive feeling in our mind when we listen to you, Venerable Sir. Of course, if you don't have real understanding of the Buddha's major teachings, you may feel, of course, we feel darkness in our mind when we listen to suffering or unsatisfactory about our life. Dear Dhamma friends, when we talk about suffering, the Buddha's word is dukkha. It doesn't mean we are going to invite you to cry or to be inactive. Of course, we are asking everyone to be inactive in your pains and sorrows with understanding. That means you don't want to go through pains and sorrow. Why? It's the nature of this life. When we come to this world with 5 aggregates or with this kind of human body or life, of course we have to go through old age, sickness, death, so on. Therefore, we have to realize this is what life is. Therefore, we have to be righteous and then to continue this life. That means you have to tackle with this human body. You have to take precautions. Of course, you have to practice healthy life, not only with your physical body, but also with your mentality, with your mental activities. You have to be healthy. Of course, you have to go through healthy life. At the same time, you have to understand any time we may lose our mental and physical energies and powers. We have to make our mind to accept. When we lose our mental and physical powers or strength or energy? Of course, we have to go through treatment. That means you may take medicine. You may follow doctor's advice. But that's the nature. Therefore, we are asking you to take care of yourself. At the same time, take care of your mind from anger, jealousy, hatred. Also, from greed and strong attachment of each other. That means you are following a healthy life. It could be mental and physical. By feeding yourself, at the same time, you are feeding your mind with Dhamma. You are feeding your stomach with food and drinks. At the same time, you are cultivating good thoughts. That means non-greed and non-anger and non-aversion. That means loving kindness or metta, karuna or compassion, and mudita, sympathetic joy, and upekha or equanimity. You have to cultivate with these pure thoughts in your mind. That means you are taking care of your mind as well. See, we are going to train our mind to accept the truth of this human life. Then, what would be happen with this life? Of course, each moment of your life, with mindfulness, you are going to invite real happiness into your mind. At the same time, you are going to tackle with day-to-day problems of sicknesses, old age, and other problems. That means problems of your workplace, also problems of your family, also problems of your friends, etc. Even at that time, our training is going to help us to get rid of these kind of problems. What kind of training we got with the Buddha's teachings? There are 3 characteristics of existence in this lifestyle. What are those 3 characteristics of existence? Those are impermanence, unsatisfactory, and non-self. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Again, I would like to remind you, by saying these kind of facts, I'm not going to ask anyone to cry or to be inactive. As I explained before, of course we are going to make you to have a strong mind to face for the life problems or disasters. Because nothing is permanent. This is what samsara is. Samsara means the circle of death and birth. If we are traveling through this circle of death and birth or samsara, of course we have to face for the nature of this type of nature. And then you are living at the present moment. You may have your own experience while living at the present moment. Your mind is free from strong attachment. Your mind is free from anger, jealousy, hatred. At the same time, you are living in harmony. What does it mean you are living in harmony? Within yourself, you are cultivating the virtues of harmony. That means your mind and body are connected together. Otherwise, your mind says one thing, but your body is going another way. At that time, your mind is not accepting what the body is saying. That means the body nature is different from your mind acceptance. Mind needs beauty and a strong, healthy life. But your body doesn't have that kind of nature. And then mind and bodies are fighting each other. And then you may say, I feel sorry for me. I feel I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I miss everything. I'm having a failure. I don't know what to do. Even at that time, you may get upset. You may lose your own happiness, especially mental happiness you may lose. Therefore, train your mind to accept the truth of three characteristics of this existence. If we came to this world with these five aggregates or life, of course we have to go through old age sickness, old age, associating with unfriendly people, not getting what you want, departing from loved ones, etc. Be mindful. You have to act accordingly. You don't want to have physical fight or verbal fight. If you have any kind of problems with people, those who are coming from different background, it could be physical and mental background, just be careful and mindful. Protect yourself from evil people. At the same time, protect your mind from evil thoughts of anger, jealousy, hatred. Otherwise, you may lose present mental happiness within this life. At the same time, you may lose your next life. I mean, your next good life. You may reborn in one of hells. That's the problem. We have suffered for millions, billions lives in our past lives. The Buddha said clearly, being a human is so rare. Dullabancha manussattam. By knowing this truth, we have to appreciate this rare chance. That means being a human. What we got this rare chance, that means we became a human. You have to appreciate. You have to respect yourself. With your own experience, while respecting yourself, you are going to respect others as well. You have to start with your family members, those who are loving people in your life journey. With those experiences, you are able to continue your path towards fellow human beings. Wherever you go, whatever skin color you got by birth, everybody feels, oh, who is a nice person, who is a God to us, though he's a human. Because his way of address and actions and thinking are beautiful. He's not violating any humane feelings of love and compassion. And then you may have lots of good reactions from others. And then you are nurtured by other people's behavior. This is what we really need. And then we are going to touch our spiritual past with our own mind. Now our mind is accepted already, the real nature of this life. We have to go through these kind of situations. As I explained according to the Buddha's teachings, we have to go through old age, sicknesses, death, so on. Therefore, we have to be virtuous and then to find real happiness by following the path of the Buddha. We have to be confident in the Buddha. That means Saddha. Simply Saddha means faith. But here we have to say Saddha means confidence. We have to be confident in the Buddha's teachings. The Buddha found this real happiness throughout of his sansaric journey. For billions lives he practiced while asking for what real happiness is. If we are going through death and birth, it's not real happiness. Therefore, we have to find what real happiness is. So that's why the Buddha said, the Buddha practiced 10 perfections. Dana, Sila, Nikkamma, Prajna, Virya, so on. Dana, giving. Without asking for anything in return, mind is ready to give up or practice renunciations. That means giving or sharing or offering. That means dana. And Sila. Sila means morality. When we practice moral life, that means we are disciplined. That means Sila. Nekkamma, renunciation. Virya, effort. Dana, Sila, Nekkamma, Prajna, wisdom. Nothing is permanent. Though convincingly it's me, but absolutely nothing to say my or mine. By knowing this truth, we have to live happily. We have to act accordingly. We don't know to grasp anything by thinking it's permanent. Of course, convincingly, it's there. We have to call I or myself or you or mother, father, so on. But still, our mind is trained to accept the truth of absolute. Truth of absolute, that means nothing is permanent. By knowing this truth, we used to act accordingly. Virya, effort. Kanti, patience. Dana, Sila, Nikkamma, Prajna, Virya. Kanti. Satcha, Adhisthana, Metta, Upekka. Satcha, truth. Metta, loving kindness. Upekka, equanimity. Adhisthana, determination. Those are the 10 perfections the Buddha practiced in his sansaric journey for billions of lives. Through practicing these 10 perfections, the Buddha fulfilled his path and he enlightened in 4 noble truths. Unsatisfactory, the truth of unsatisfactory, and refraining and the cause of unsatisfactory, and the cessation of unsatisfactory, and the path to get rid of this unsatisfactory journey. Dukkha Samudaya Nirodha Magga. With his own experience, the Buddha showed the path. I already found. Only thing is you have to follow with understanding. Respect yourself. Use this rare chance to get rid of this suffering or unsatisfactory journey. And then you may find real happiness. The real happiness is not on someone's hand, in someone's hand, but it is in your hand. That means within yourself you have to find what real happiness is there. The Buddha was guiding us. Even today, the Buddha is not alive, but Dhamma is alive. By practicing the Dhamma, we can see the Buddha even today, even right now. By the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. Finally, attain supreme Nibbana. Anumodana. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu sasanang chirang rakhantu desanang chirang rakhantu lokasasanang. May the triple gem bless with you.